welcome back to your #1 top 4 PSO2 New Genesis gameplay how-tos and all that jazz. And today we are here to discuss everything you need to know about augmenting, since it is a very important part of New Genesis, as well as bait PSO, but bait PSO is done decent. But for this video, we mainly gonna be discussing NGS because it will help out so very much for your battle power to help you get into more harder content and also make you so much more stronger. But before we hop into that, I do want to give a giant thank you to everybody that is supporting here on YouTube, Twitch, and of course Patreon, and we will go more into that in a bit. But for now, let's discuss some augments. So when it comes to augments, you can get these in a many different way. You can buy these at the player shops. They also drop from enemies, and of course a more desirable one will drop from origin quests, as well as mission passes and hunting down veterans or dreads, depending on what you want to call them, to get your hands on these. And you're going to need a lot of these, not only for your weapon and armor, but also these are very helpful as a free-to-play player if you are looking for something that ideally can make you some meseta and money. And these are honestly pretty good as long as you know what one to go for. But for this video itself, let's discuss how exactly to get these on your equipment to become more powerful. So to start off, these does have different types or categories, I guess you can call it here. That is very important. So to start off here, you will notice some of these are named very similar, such as like stamina, might, and then as we go down, we of course have like souls. And the main thing of focus here is of course the naming scheme itself is tied to the category. Because when you are equipping these to your weapon and armor, they do have to be different categories. Because as an example, if you put on a Soul 2 and a Soul 3, it will only let you pick one of them to actually put on your equipment. So it's very important to actually know the different types of categories. And of course, if you do want a overall look and a cheat sheet so you know what category is what, I highly recommend the AUG breakdown here, since from here you can not only see what are potentials of abilities or upgrading stat-wise you will get, as well as what category they are, as well as how to actually farm these. So this is a very helpful site, and of course I will have it down in the comment before. And if you haven't already been to AUG I highly recommend it, not just for augment, but pretty much for anything PSO related. But with that being said, we need to talk about augment slots. So how this all operates, it doesn't matter if it's a weapon or armor or unit, every one of these will have a certain amount of slots. So to start off, when you get a weapon, it might be a little lower tier here, as far like no enhancement. We will discuss how to enhance in a moment. But the thing to keep in mind here is when you get a weapon, if it did not have a plus and a number, then you will have 2 augment slots. To get more slots added to your weapon and armor, because I said they work the same way, we need to go ahead and enhance it. And of course, the more you enhance, you will get more slots to put any more augment on that equipment, all the way up to, of course, a plus 50. That at the time of this video will get you up to 5 slots. And of course, as the game progresses and we be able to enhance our weapon farther and farther, we will get more slots available here. But to keep that in mind, you will have to enhance your armor and weapon to get more of this. So as far as enhancing and then putting augments on, you of course need to find you a NPC. You can usually find them around any of the buildings with like the little purple top. And of course in Alio, you can go ahead and find it over here on, technically, what is it, left? Yeah, the left from the stairs. And by talking to the NPC with item lab enhancing over the name, we can go ahead and discuss. So first of all, enhancing is, well, this is where you enhance. And of course, if you want to enhance your weapon fast and easily, make sure you are only using gold and silver swords, or silver armor or gold armor if you're enhancing your armor slot units. And of course, once you get your weapon to part 50 and we have all the augment slot in the game, we're going to go ahead and start adding these. So to start off, we need to go to add augment, pick whatever weapon you are trying to add augment to, and then from here you will get a list of all the augment that in your inventory by default. Just know you can also click up here on the top left to pick whatever storage you might have your extra augments in, and you can go ahead and just start selecting from there. So when it comes to the augment itself, every single augment will have a percentage of completion to actually get it added to your weapon or armor. And of course, you can see the percentages over here right under the name. In the case of a stamina 1, we have 10%. So ideally, what you want to do here is get the percentage as high as humanly possible. And when it comes to doing that, you need to put in multiple augments. So as example here, if we go ahead and put 1 in, we have 10%, 2 will get it to 20, so on and so on. And you can put up to 10 of the that same augment on your weapon or armor. And once you get it as high as possible, you will go ahead and we're going to go ahead and say yes, pay a little bit of money here, conform it, and then we will have a breakdown of which augment we have, as well as we'll show if we have augment in the same category, such as if we go back and we put on 10 stamina 2. And as you see here, these are exactly the same category, so we can only put one of these on. But if we go ahead and we take one of these off, and we go and put on a totally different item, you will see it broken up here in category 1, 2, and so on, depending on how many slots you have. So in this case, I have 2 slots, but as you will notice that one here, it only at 90% and not 100, even if I did put 10 on, and that is because the sample weight was lower. But let's go ahead and take these off real quick, and we're going to go ahead and just put our stamina 1 on, and when we do so, we will pick it, it will assign it to a slot, and we will go ahead and hit start affixing. From here, we got a couple little side notes that we can do to make it easier. So to start off, if you are trying to augment a item or armor with a higher tier augment that have a lower percent chance, as example, let's say you put a 10 of an augment on, but you only have like a 60 or 70% chance here, and you want to try to succeed here, and you want to cut RNG out as much as possible, because if you fail, you will lose the Meseta you just spent, in my case right now being 1,000 to do this, as well as the augment. So we do have some safety here with, of course, our success boost. And from here, we can go ahead and pick some percentages from 5% to 30%, as well as if we use item protection. We do have an item we can put on that will also help out in guaranteeing it not to break. And if it do, that way you can get the item back and won't lose it. To get the items, there were a few other things we need to do, which I will go into in a moment. But for the time being, since that one is 100%, we're going to go ahead and say yes. And we have got a success. So now stamina 1 has been put on my rock weapon. And of course, if you do ever want to replace the augment, say you have stamina 1 and you get stamina 3, all you got to do is do the same process, but put on the higher tier. And when you go to a fix, you will be at saying, hey, this is going to replace the lower level version. Are you sure? Or replace a version that in the same category. And that is how you add and replace it just in case you do get a higher tier. But let's go ahead and talk about the items that will help us succeed if our percentages are low. So, as we stated earlier, we do have our successful rate. These items you will get through a few means. So these you can get your hands on either through special events like keywords or apologies. You can also get your hands on them through the mission pass sometimes as well. Usually will be down here in the gold track, as example here a 10%. So you can get your hands on it there. As well as, of course, as you can probably tell, you can also get augment through the mission pack as well on the gold tier, as a little side note while we are here. So this will also be a very good place to get these, since these are usually a higher variant and honestly a fairly decent augment to get from the mission pack if you're on gold. But anyway, back to what we were saying about buying protection and the enhanced susceptible weight for this stuff. Is the other way you can get your hands on this is, of course, by coming on over to your swap shop or item recycle. I guess it's item recycle in NGS. But nonetheless, you can go ahead and find you not only a whole bunch of good stuff in here, but you can also get yourself a enhanced susceptible weight for whatever reason. But if you want it, there you go. As well as, of course, that we mainly heal for, the N augments the set weight plus 20. So you can go ahead and trade in some items here to get your hands on this. And of course, outside of that, you can get lower version, indicate 15% heal by trading in 20 AC items, or by trading in 20 FG items. So you can get that way if you don't want to deal with the mission paths, or you need a few extra, you don't feel like waiting around for whenever Sega decide to give them to us. As well as our protection heal that we can get by trading in 40 FG or AC items as well. So if you got some fails and you want to get a protection, this is how you get some extra ones. So you might be wondering now, with all this is fine and dandy, but what is a way to get higher tiers if you have a whole bunch of lower tier? So let's say you have some like ones and two of whatever augment, and you might not be able to sell them on the auction house because they don't sell for a lot, and you don't want to throw them away. I got some good news for you, because you can of course trade in lower tier augments to get your hands on higher tier. So to do this, we need to head back to the same NPC in the lab, and we need to go ahead and go to exchange enhanced material. From here, we can go ahead and augment capsule exchange. And as you can see here, we do got a tier 3 of stuff, we got some higher level stuff, and pretty much all around a lot of good augments. So the thing that's going to be important here is we're going to need to trade in some stuff. Not only in the case of some of this, as if we go back up here, we can go ahead and see like our stamina. We can trade in, of course, a 10 capsule at level 1 or stamina level 1. For 10 of them, we can get a 1 up stamina 3. But outside of that, there will be a few other ones, like that one as example, that will require trading in Might 3, Guard 3, as also a few other items such as Proton stuff. So some of the equipment will require different tiers of other augment, not only lower level, as well as a handful of mining materials as well that you can get from, well, mining. So just know if you have a specific augment that you are going for here, just know you might be able to actually find it in this exchange shop without having to farm it or go and hunt it down in the player shop. So just keep in mind that this is an option that is very helpful when it comes to getting the most out of your augments, especially if you have a crap ton of lower tier ones or other ones you're never going to use and you can't sell them because they're cheap. But nonetheless, this is a good way to get some better augments. And with that, that is everything you need to know about augments, how to actually get them added, how to upgrade the weapon to get them, as well as some items that will protect you. So if you fail, you won't lose that much. And with that, that's gonna go ahead and do it for this guide. Hopefully they have been useful. If so, make sure to do the thumbs up, subscribe, hit all the bell so you don't miss out on my daily PSO2 content here. And of course, if you do want to support the channel and be like all the wonderful folks, be sure to check out, of course, patreon.com/Macon. Come over to my live stream over at twitch.tv/TroyMacon, or by hitting the memberships here by hitting that wonderful join button. But with that, that will go ahead and do it for me, and I will see you all in the comments.